It's time for 7 Minutes with 7SIGNAL, where we unpack a little feature that has a huge impact. So let me show you what we have for us in store today. You guys should be able to see that. Just give me the nod if you can. Thank you. All right, so guys, today we're talking about the environment. Remember, we're talking about the environment. And you know what? When you have a 7SIGNAL Sapphire Eye out in the field, out in wherever it might be, it's like having an environmentalist on site. It's like having an environmentalist with a rain gauge and a barometer and can measure all of the things that need to be measured in order to determine if we have problems in the environment. All right, let me show you how that works in 7SIGNAL. So here we go. We're going to the frames section of the software. And when we do that, you can see all of these awesome key performance indicators that we are measuring. I just want to share with you one that we spoke of today, which is retries. Retries. When we have retries, guys, that is a great indication that you've got a lot of noise in the environment, that it's a hostile environment, and as a result, we need to retry either from the AP or from the client. We need to retransact. We need to do a retransmission because the message did not get through. And of course, we can't see necessarily what's going on in the air, but 7SIGNAL can. And look at this, guys. Per service area, per access point, I'm measuring the retry rate all throughout the course of the day and night. And you can see right here, each one of these dots represents one of our Sapphire Eyes and what it calculates depending upon where it is in space. And what we try to do is we try to keep our retry rate below 40%. That's our goal. Because if the retry rate gets above 40%, and you can see we're kind of right at that threshold here with our example. When we get into the retry rate into the 40s, into the 50s, so on and so forth, now the environment is so hostile that we're just going to have to step down our data rates and go slower and have poorer performance as a result. Okay, so this is access point retries. Down here, let's just take a look at client retries real quick. Again, you've got the access point and client. They're trying to, transmit and communicate to each other, and when the message doesn't get through, and we don't, we can't see this, so it's kind of frustrating when we don't know why we're having poor performance. But when you have an environmentalist on site, Sapphire Eye, now you can actually see that what's going on in the environment at that level. Now, along these lines, I want to share you a second portion of the software, and that's the spectrum analyzer right here. Okay, so this is one of the best tools that the environmentalist can have in his tool bag, the spectrum analyzer. And again, when you've got one of these Sapphire Eyes out in some location somewhere, now you can actually hear and see everything that's going on in the air. And check this out, guys. This is the 5 gigahertz spectrum, and we know where this Sapphire Eye is because we've named it properly. And I see something here which is a little strange to me. I see the little worm over here on these Uni 3 channels. When you see the little worm like this, that is not an expected signature. The Wi-Fi signature is going to look more of what you see on these other channels here, with a little line covering the full 20 megahertz wide channel, or in some cases 40 megahertz wide over here. You can see that in action, in effect. But again, there are these weird things in the environment that we can't see or hear, but if you've got the environmentalist on site, you sure can. For instance, the worm. Let me show you another one. Okay, and this is what I call the speckled trout. The speckled trout and the worm, they don't like each other. And you know what? We don't like them either. And so when you've got the speckled trout and you've got the wiggle worm, you've got issues, all right? And you would only know this if you had 7SIGNAL in the environment. So there you have it, guys. That's what I wanted to share with you today. Remember, we can't see Wi-Fi, but 7SIGNAL can. Thanks for joining us today.